We are due. Forget Yogi Bear. Okay, forget Old Faithful. It's sitting on top of a sleeping giant. Now, if you're sleeping next to an 800-pound gorilla, you monitor every burp, every snore of this gigantic gorilla, because when it blows, it could destroy the United States as we know it.
Deep within the majestic Yellowstone, a place that has long enthralled visitors with its natural wonders, a terrifying revelation has surfaced. Renowned physicist Michio Kaku has sounded the alarm. Yellowstone is awakening, and the cataclysmic forces brewing beneath its surface may unleash destruction beyond imagination. Come with us as we dive into the depths of Yellowstone's mysteries, experience the hidden geological forces that have been unleashed, and ponder the implications of a potential awakening of the supervolcano. Let's begin. Restless Yellowstone caldera is no ordinary place. It's a living, breathing entity, capable of surprising us with its occasional eruptions. Join us as we venture deeper into the announcement made by Michio Kaku, a renowned physicist, and unravel its implications for the future of the national park and the entire Earth. But before we dive into the heart of this matter, let's marvel at some of Yellowstone's breathtaking wonders. The Grand Canyon, carved over time by the mighty Yellowstone River, stretches an astonishing 20 miles and plummets to depths of 1,200 feet. The lower falls, cascading down a staggering 308 feet, create a mesmerizing spectacle with foam and mist shooting into the air. The rocks at the base of the falls, constantly drenched in mist, are adorned with vibrant green moss throughout the year, and the crystal clear water of Yellowstone's rivers owes its remarkable green hue to the presence of algae and moss. We can't forget about the intriguing Mammoth Hot Springs, where heat, water, minerals, and limestone combine to create a fascinating geological phenomenon. And let's not overlook the Upper Geyser Basin, home to an abundance of geothermal features, including the legendary Old Faithful geyser. Witnessing the eruption of a geyser is a sight to behold, and Yellowstone has the power to predict not just one, but 5 large geysers. Yet, amidst all the natural wonders, there's a fiery and scorching force beneath the surface that demands our attention: volcanoes. Yellowstone's close connection to these powerful forces of nature is undeniable. Volcanic activity adds to the park's unique charm, but something new and terrifying is brewing. Within a mere 24 hours, a colossal crack, 100 feet wide, appeared out of nowhere in Teton, sending park authorities into high alert. They promptly closed off a large section of the park to investigate this ominous phenomenon. Teton, with its tough, hard rocks, vertical uplift, and unique geological factors, has a history intertwined with volcanoes. While the rocks in Teton are among the hardest and most resilient in the world, even they have their limits. Daily and annual temperature fluctuations combined with other natural forces leads to the formation of cracks and fissures. Water seeping into these cracks freezes and expands, eventually causing slabs of rock to break away from mountain walls. It's a constant struggle between rock toughness and the ever-changing landscape. The movement of rock debris, whether through falling, rolling, or sliding, is an ongoing process in Teton. Snow, avalanches, and the power of running water further contribute to this transformative landscape. And now, experts are closely monitoring the expanding cracks in the Teton area, vigilant for any signs of movement. Now, let's talk about the explosive power of this volcano. When it erupts, it doesn't just spit out a measly amount of lava. It releases an astounding 240 cubic miles of rhyolite, an incredibly powerful volcanic rock. This rock is so mighty that it can easily break through the Earth's crust, causing an eruption of epic proportions. We're talking about a volcanic explosion that could reach up to Category 8 on the Volcano Explosivity Index. To put it into perspective, it would blast out enough material to bury the entire state of Texas under 5 feet of volcanic debris. Scientists have been closely studying Yellowstone to understand the signs of an imminent eruption. They've been focusing on the plume of magma beneath the park, using some clever techniques. Instead of dealing with actual magma, they injected a safe radioactive isotope called deuterium into several hot springs in the park. By measuring the temperature and tracking how long it took for the deuterium to return to normal levels, they calculated the amount of water and heat flowing out of the springs. It turns out there's a whole lot of water and heat, more than previously thought. But here's the kicker. Yellowstone isn't just a single dangerous volcano. It's part of a larger geological phenomenon called the Yellowstone hotspot. This hotspot has been shaping the northwestern United States for millions of years. It's a stationary area of intense volcanic activity beneath the Earth's crust, responsible for the creation of the Yellowstone caldera and all those geothermal wonders that attract millions of visitors each year. And guess what? The Yellowstone hotspot has left its mark far beyond the borders of the national park. It has created volcanic features and left a trail of past eruptions throughout the region. Take the Snake River Plain in southern Idaho, for example. It's a product of the hotspot's volcanic activity, characterized by a series of lava flows and volcanic fields. And let's not forget about the craters of the Moon National Monument and Preserve, a testament to the hotspot's volcanic legacy. Now, here's the thing. The intensity of the hotspot's volcanic activity has varied over time. There have been periods of heightened volcanic eruptions, resulting in massive super eruptions like the ones that formed the Yellowstone caldera. These cataclysmic events occur on a timescale of hundreds of thousands of years, with much longer periods of relative calm in between. But in recent months, we've seen some alarming activity in Yellowstone. The ground has been rising, and there's a whopping 465-mile-long molten rock on the move directly beneath the park. The major geysers have been more active than ever before, fueling speculation about an inevitable eruption. Now, brace yourself for this mind-boggling fact. Yellowstone has erupted 3 times before, approximately 2.1 million, 1.3 million, and 664,000 years ago. The last eruption created a massive 34-mile by 50-mile depression known as the Yellowstone caldera. And guess what? There are at least 47 other super eruptions that have happened throughout the Earth's history, with the most recent occurring 26,000 years ago in New Zealand. So, the potential for a Yellowstone super eruption is not just a wild idea, it's a real possibility. To prevent such a catastrophe, NASA has proposed a daring plan. They want to drill up to 6 miles into the supervolcano and pump in high-pressure water to cool it down. They believe that by harnessing the volcano's heat as a resource, they can build a geothermal power plant and offset the cost of the mission. It's a bold strategy to keep Yellowstone from erupting and wreaking havoc on the country. But let me tell you, it's no easy feat. This risky move could actually backfire and trigger the very super eruption they're trying to avoid. Imagine the chaos that would ensue if Yellowstone blew its top. Even if the drilling plan works, it would take tens of thousands of years to cool down the supervolcano completely, and there's no guarantee it will be successful after all that time. So, if NASA doesn't succeed, we're in for a disaster of epic proportions. Scientists have analyzed historical ash deposits and used advanced modeling to paint a grim picture of the aftermath. They predict that a super eruption would blanket the northern Rockies with a whopping 3 feet of ash. Wyoming, Idaho, Colorado, Montana, and Utah would be plunged into chaos. But the impact wouldn't stop there. The Midwest would also face a few inches of ash, while the coasts would fare slightly better. Yet, even a few inches of this volcanic menace can wreak havoc. It can smother plants, animals, and unfortunately, people. Buildings would crumble, roadways would be impassable, and respiratory problems would skyrocket. It would be a nightmare. But the consequences go beyond immediate devastation. A large volcanic eruption like the one that could happen at Yellowstone would release massive amounts of sulfur aerosols into the atmosphere. These aerosols form a protective shield that cools down the planet by reflecting sunlight back into space. It's like nature's own air conditioning system, but on a global scale. However, this sudden cooling effect could have profound effects on the climate. Let's look at the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991 as an example. It released a tremendous amount of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, causing the planet's average temperature to drop by about 1 degree Celsius for several years. It might not sound like much, but in the delicate balance of the Earth's climate, even a small change can have far-reaching consequences. In 1815, the eruption of Mount Tambora led to a global cooling effect that caused the infamous year without a summer. Crops failed, leading to widespread food shortages and famines in many parts of the world. So, if Yellowstone were to experience a super eruption, it wouldn't just affect the immediate vicinity. The release of sulfur aerosols would have far-reaching consequences, potentially impacting weather patterns and agricultural productivity worldwide. It could disrupt ecosystems, harm food production, and impact livelihoods on a global scale. While experts provide reassurances, there are signs that our planet is becoming increasingly unstable. Steamboat Geyser, the world's tallest active geyser, erupted a record-breaking 32 times in 1 year. Other geysers, like the dormant Excelsior geyser, suddenly erupted, spewing out garbage from decades ago. The ground beneath Yellowstone has been rising steadily, and numerous earthquakes have shaken the region. These warning signs suggest that unprecedented natural disasters are looming. But fear not. Scientists from around the world have come together at Yellowstone Volcano Observatory to stay ahead of the eruption. They use a variety of tools, from seismometers to track magma movement to monitoring hot springs and geysers. They analyze volcanic gases to gain insights into the behavior of the magma chamber. With advanced technology and data analysis, they've made significant progress in understanding Yellowstone's complex system. These dedicated scientists work tirelessly to provide real-time monitoring and alerts in case of increased volcanic activity. Their efforts ensure the safety of millions of visitors who flock to Yellowstone National Park each year. That pretty much wraps this video up, guys. Thanks for watching. So, are you prepared for the potential eruption of Yellowstone's supervolcano? Share with us in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel with a bell notification if you enjoy watching our content. We upload some awesome stuff here, which you will most certainly enjoy. Hit a like on this video and leave a comment below. See you guys in the next one.